So, all across
Time to talk about Canada. The progressive. I don't. This is so. I don't want to say it, but I kind of want to troll. Canada, the progressive Nazi country. Okay, I'm not serious about that. Come on, relax. It's a joke. All right, let's hear Alba and Breach out.
Canada right now, we're seeing a bunch of LGBTQ protests in regards to Pride Month being involved in schools. The government has come down saying it may be illegal not to celebrate Pride Month.
Canada wants to make it illegal to celebrate Pride Month. If that's not totalitarianism, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Canada is unhinged right now. They used to be our happy neighbors. Now they're our happy neighbors that force people into progressive ideologies. Right? They're that one a situation where it's like a utopian society, but under that it's just completely unhinged with an authoritarian ruler. That is Canada right now.
Basically saying it goes against the human rights charter of said province to not celebrate Pride Month at school. So parents don't want their kids to be indoctrinated. LGBTQ folks for, hey, we're not doing that. They want their kids to be indoctrinated. Basically saying it goes.
First reading, all schools must comply. Schools get heavy-handed against Pride backlash. Oh, Canada, I like dick in my butt. That's not funny. Why'd I say that?
Against the human rights charter of said province to not celebrate Pride Month at school. So parents don't want their kids to be indoctrinated. LGBTQ folks for, hey, we're not doing that. It helps with awareness and acceptance. Here's a teacher telling Muslim students that skipping LGBTQ events is not okay.
I don't understand this.
Well, I'll tell you, you are out to lunch. If you think it's acceptable to not show up because you think that there's some pride activities going on at school, right? Oh, that's fine. You know, because I'm going to show my opinion by hanging out at the mall. But meanwhile, all of those kids who are, involved in, say, the Gay Straight Alliance or whatever, I don't even know if we have that anymore in our school, they're here when we did Ramadan for Lion Time, and they're showing respect in the class for your religion, right, for your beliefs. It goes two ways. If you want to be respected for who you are, if you don't want to suffer prejudice for your religion, your color of skin, your whatever, then you've got to give it back to people who are different from you. That's how it works. It's an exchange. And it isn't like that in all countries. As I told you, in Uganda, literally, if they think you're gay, they will execute you. If you believe that kind of thing, then you don't belong here. Because that is not what Canada believes. We believe in freedom.
So if you don't participate,
this like I'm saying, it's unhinged. The progressive movement in Canada is extremely unhinged. Like she's hands down comparing 1-to-1 Canada. I mean, not Canada, religion and the LGBTQ movement. It's a religion. The movement is a religion. I don't know what Canada's policy when it comes to Ramadan. Does it tell people to celebrate Ramadan with Muslims? I don't know why you would tell people to do that. Again, Canada, if they do that, that's unhinged. But, what to expect? It's the progressive Nazi country.
in pride events, you do not belong in Canada. Interesting. Listen, I don't know what Ramadan is like today, but when I was growing up, you did it. If you wanted to, you did it. And nobody cared. And honestly, I didn't care if the school got involved. Why would I give a fuck? I'm fasting. I don't need you guys to eat sambusas with me. We're not going to be there when I break my fast. All right, you guys call it samosas, whatever the fuck you call it.
Yo, sambusas is fire.
But in Ethiopia, that's what we call it.
I want to be there when y'all motherfuckers eat it.
That shit is delicious. But my whole point is, like, Muslims have never been clamoring for other people to observe their religious experiences. They don't care. No religion has. Just don't fuck with our shit. And I think most people agree, you want to do this LGBTQ stuff, nobody cares. They just say, just don't fuck with our shit. We won't fuck with yours. But this whole thing about, like, you don't belong here if you're not willing to participate in pride events is nonsensical. Okay? If you want, as an adult, to encourage people to go to pride events...
And this is why I say, like, the whole thing about oh, this is only a small percentage. Why do you care? This is why. It's becoming bigger than it should be. And that's the problem, right? Like, it literally dominates an entire country, right?
There's nothing wrong with that. But saying people don't belong here because they don't want to go to your pride parade is stupid. And this is the bit, like, I'm for people having discussions about LGBTQ rights in schools during Pride Month. I don't think that's a problem. Okay, I don't care that people want to say, like, you know, the history of gay people in Canada. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you want to run like drag queen shows or running stuff like Drag Hour for Kids or whatever, like, it's okay with parents saying, like, I don't want that for my kids. The same way, I don't think it's anything wrong with not being accepting of like a Muslim sheikh coming to your school to talk to the kids or a pastor coming to. It's okay. You don't have to be for all of that stuff. But we've now made it where.
But also, let's keep in mind that these things are not equal, right? A drag show is not equal to a pastor speaking to kids. They aren't equal. They are not.
If you're not 100% with us, you're 100% against us. But why does it have to involve me? Why does my participation have to be part of this process? That is a question that I think a lot of people are asking. And I think there's actually a lot of school programs that are running Pride Month and their events very sensibly, okay? I really believe that. In that they're not, you know, overindulging. They're just saying, hey, we got this flag up here, and beyond that, like, we're chilling, okay? And maybe we talk about gay people and what they've experienced, which is, I don't think is bad. But then you have other stuff that I'm just like, what the fuck am I even looking at? Like this.
I think it's bad when like a whole country forces schools to celebrate an ideology. Like forcing schools to celebrate an ideology. The precedent that sets is very troubling. Extremely troubling. I do think it's bad. If a school wants to do it on their own volition, go ahead. Don't care. But a country forcing schools to do it? Come on.
So on 1, 2, 3, we're gonna yell slay. So on 3, okay? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Slay! Alright.
What am I watching?
Now, does anybody in this room know how to twerk? It's all in. And then you just move your bum up and down like that. And that's twerking.
What do you think about LGBTQ stuff being involved in Pride in schools? You think it's good, bad, in
It
between?
depends on the level of what it's done.
Okay.
Sometimes, yeah, people are trying to do too much.
It's just like so much. Like, why is this such a big deal? You can't convince me that like there's that many LGBTQ people suffering when stuff like this happens. You just can't convince me. You won't be able to. You won't be able to. It's like it's Christmas. Like, it's like there's something Halloween. Like, I don't understand. Like, why do they celebrate like Black History Month this much? I'm curious. I don't know. Maybe their school just does this for every holiday, right? Maybe when it's Christopher Columbus Day, they got boats all over the school. They wear the white wigs. Maybe, just maybe.
Like if it's like Black History Month, let's just put the example of Black History Month because that's what you motherfuckers are gonna go to first. If you talk about history, the history of black people, I understand that. But if I would walk in one day and my kids are in school and I pick them up and everybody has a Black Lives Matter shirt and they're in the
Pan-African flag.
Pan-African flag.
Yeah.
Little kids with an afro.
I actually want to see that.
Hold on. I don't want to see that. One, other people are talking to me like, white kids come to me like, good morning, sir.
Yeah.
And I would be like,
I apologize for what we've done to you, mister.
That would be too much. And I'd be like, I don't want none of this shit.
Hi, it's Will from Booker Law.
Jesus.
If you use Steam, the PC game platform, you could be entitled to...
Go do your
that's
thing,
too
bro.
much.
I kind of want to see Hotep reading dick.
Be like,
Jesus
you
was
do not-
black, and so was your ancestors. Know your history, because we are all one people coming from Africa. Take it back to the motherland, because we are standing on an empire of sand. The West is a lie. Girl, I don't want you to die. My white people used to be black people, used to be one people. Poems rhyme like what? Hoems. Because we have cultivated a country of hoes. I do not want you to be hoed out by your government to the people of another government as we engage in war. Soldiers are whores. That's pretty fire. Hotep, no tep.
There was some good
We got
stuff,
Umar
but,
Johnson in the building,
No.
giving you the Johnson of knowledge.
Like if,
Wait,
if my
what?
daughter comes back home, all right, and there's a kid, she's chilling with a kid, a white kid,
White?
and the white kid is
White
like,
is not right.
oh yeah, that's great, and he starts clapping like that. I'll be like, your kid, your friend is a weirdo. There's why is this? What's going on? What's this?
Claps are oppressive. Snaps are kindness. They're ways to undo white supremacy through low sound vibrations, crystals, African mythology.
Bro, I feel like
You
someone
just
has
aren't
said
in
that.
touch with the motherland, brother. And so right now you were using the oppressor's language.
Yo,
It's
yo,
okay, it's
Abba,
not your
you're
fault.
spitting on your
You've been
shirt, dog.
indoctrinated, much like AI is indoctrinating the
With that
youth.
spit.
You are having an opportunity to be indoctrinated by white supremacy through the indoctrination that we have on television, through your TV set, your movie set, your phone set, through your television, your computer, your tablets. Every day you are being programmed, my brother. ChatGPT is the new CIA.
Are you done?
Dr. Abba Zaba Zulu King III. Never
He's
forget.
still going.
Politics.
All right. We gotta move on.
No, but for real. No, when they do too much, it's just it's too much. It's weird. No matter what it is. I think on both sides people need to not go to extremes and stuff like that, but that will never happen. You know, people are the way they are, and it's a utopia to think that people are not gonna go on the streets. But Jesus fucking Christ. On one, I understand both parties. Both sides. I understand
don't
both sides
understand
when
Canada.
they say, yeah,
You crazy,
there's
Canada.
nothing inherently bad into drag hours and stuff like that, where it's a drag person, drag queen, drag person doing stories and stuff like that. I don't have a problem with that. It's the extremes and the debordement where it could go that I have a problem with. At the same time, on the other side, the people that are against that are gonna go to some extreme as well. You know what I mean? It's both. There's extreme in both sides. You know what I mean? I
don't
can
think
understand
there
a
is.
show where there's drag queens. The nudity doesn't belong in a school. Like in the same way, whenever you see twerking to kids and this and that and whatever whatnot, which exists and which happened, that thing that you just showed us happened. I want to see my little girl, going to school and be like, coming back from school and be like, yes, I was today, honey. Oh yeah, it was a cool day. I had a pole dance class today. Even if it's a pole dance class and it's done for fitness, you cannot remove the sex work part out of that.
Sorry.
You
That's
cannot.
disturbing.
It is, but I
Imagine
mean,
kids doing pole dancing is just weird to me. It is weird. But I'll disagree with you on this point. I side with the parents because I think it's a parent's job to be overprotective of their children. That's what parents do.
Yeah, which is
right. Like you can't expect a parent to be like just trust them.
What are you against from what I said?
So yeah, like you say you understand both sides, but I'm saying the one that makes the most sense is the parent side,
Sure.
because parents are thinking about their kids' safety and their well-being.
We agree.
It's not like they're imagining aliens coming down from the sky. They're imagining stuff that they've actually seen other schools do. And here's the big problem: the reason why the other side, the drag side, loses a lot of its steam is because when crazy shit happens, instead of like saying it's not okay, they condone it. They're like, well, no, you guys don't understand this and that. I'm like, yo, you make all of yourselves look crazy when you are tacitly supporting the fact that like you got kids doing drag stuff or you got kids doing this, and you might think that's okay, but I side with most parents who polled on this matter say they don't think it's acceptable.
Let's read this poll. Which of the following comes close to your opinion on drag shows? They should be banned. Total. Only 14%. They're restricted to people 18 older. 50%. They should be allowed for everyone. 25% of people are stupid. Let me look at the percentage. 22% male. 27. Bro, what if the black people are disappointing me, bro? Bro, what's going on? Disappointed. It's the lowest number, but it's still disappointing.
I don't think it's
and that's not just right-leaning parents. That's also left-leaning parents who don't think some of this stuff is acceptable.
I don't think it's a problem that parents take out their kids from these activities. I don't see that's a problem. No. I don't see where the problem is there.
That happened too in Ontario.
Which is fine.
Well, during the Pride thing, I think it was like 40 or 60% of the kids didn't go to school those days. Which
is fine. And I don't think that's a problem. Where I have a problem is with the débordement and then, yeah, kids stepping on flags and stuff like that. That's kind of weird. But no, I don't have a problem with kids not going to certain schools, certain events. That's fine. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid, my school was Catholic. I was Protestant. So whenever they had Bible study at school, I was not going. My parents said, when that class is happening, you're not going. It was not a disrespect to the Catholics. It was not a disrespect to the school. Me, that was Protestant. Another friend that I had that was Jehovah's Witness.
Don't lie.
Couple of
was fire, right? Whenever Bible study comes around, you get to stay home.
Yeah, because no matter where you're from, Bible study is.
But no, not because of that. You get a day off, nigga, chilling.
No, I was not home. I was not home. I was in another class. I was not having Bible study.
Oh, okay. That's whack. That's whack.
Right. No, it's not. No.
Because I'm not gonna lie. If I know this Pride stuff's happening, you know the first thing I'm doing is I'm snitching to my Muslim parents. You wanna know why? Because we get to stay home, nigga, and I love staying home.
Hey, I was in another class. And you get to read that book. Yeah. And while reading that book, bruv, it was a break for me from the rest of the school, and because I needed it, I was snoozing. You understand what I'm saying? Let me take a nappy nap and not bother you. Just.
The 2023 Kia Sportage was built for more room for your passengers, more cargo space.
Man, tuck her out.
Just if I snore, but
I'll be in the pride flag. Let me see what this is about.
Students tearing through Pride posters and dancing on Pride flags.
You said you had a problem with kids stomping on the flag.
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's where we go into disrespectful. You know what I mean? Where you don't go into a certain activity, it's just like, I'm not going to partake for this and that. You're not necessarily disrespecting the person. You're not necessarily disrespecting the person, whatever. But stomping on a flag, just what stomping on a flag means.
Right.
Just knowing that a flag is not even supposed to touch the ground. You putting it on the ground. The flag is not supposed to go on the ground. Now you put it on the ground and you stomp it.
Let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Why, if a kid wants to stomp on a flag, why can't they?
I don't want them to stomp on the flag because that it shows violence. It shows it's what it means to stomp on a flag, right? It's the violence with.
I don't know where I lie in this one. I don't know. I don't have an opinion right now.
Stomping on the flag, what that means.
It means that you're disrespecting the whole thing.
Yeah, you're disrespecting. You're dirtying the flag. You're disrespecting it. It's okay to say that you don't involve or you don't believe in that or you don't want none of that to happen with you. But stomping on a flag, that's that's a line that I wouldn't cross. It's highly disrespectful. Highly disrespectful.
I think when you make that kind of stuff mandatory and you force it on people, their reaction is to stomp on it. I don't think they would ever stomp on it if they weren't making this stuff mandatory and forcing it on people. They're not stomping on the flag to say fuck LGBTQ people. They're saying we don't want this forced on us. It's a different thing.
I can understand that. I understand what you're saying and why it's happening. I'm still not for it happening.
Yeah. Well, listen.
You could just
they push kids to wear LGBTQ flags. They make them wear it on their heads. They make them put on the colors. They make them do all kinds of weird stuff.
That
and
sounds
these are
like 1920 propaganda. But keep on going.
What
they doing?
Okay. They're pushing the kids to do that, right? And look, I think it's kind of weird because I don't even think kids really have the mental capacity to really understand all the political implications of like donning these flags and stuff like that. But they push the kids to do it. So for me, if other kids are stopping on it, I really don't care. We're already pushing kids to like adopt these political symbols, whether they really understand it or not. And then after they do that, then they're saying, well, you can't do it this way. For me, you want to stomp on it, you want to wear it. If one's okay, all of them are okay. I don't think it's a good thing. What I'm trying to say is we're already...
It's absolutely ridiculous that Canada is forcing such political agendas on kids, bro. It's actually stupid. When you're a kid, you're supposed to be learning how to be a person, but now you have to worry about all these political ramifications, and all these political agendas, all these ideologies being forced upon you. It's actually ridiculous, bro. Canada is becoming very... Definitely not for freedom. Definitely not for freedom.
Pushing our kids into that political arena. And as far as them stomping on it, I really believe that this is only because it's being mandatory and not because they actually have a deep issue with LGBTQ people. Because I don't think I've seen this kind of stuff generally outside of protests in regards to like mandatory rights.
Sure. I'm going to wrap it up there.